category of, I think we know the words to these songs. So here's the thing. If you feel like standing, do, but there's no pressure, okay? And if you do, or if you don't and somebody else does, it's okay. I guess I'm sharing my own concerns with you about that, so. And I want to thank Louise before I get started, because I asked her what the words to this song are, so thank you, Louise. Only because once you've been to one Unity Church, you've been to one Unity Church, right? And that's the way the lyrics work. Everybody's got their own version of Surely the Presence, right? Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the voice of angels sing. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Short songs are great, you just do them again, right? Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the voice of angels ring. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, we're gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, all around the world, we're gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Big finish. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Good morning.
Kind of start. Yeah. We needed it. That's a good thing. Thank you, Steve Mason, Paul for short. Yeah, whatever. Whatever day it is. We'll just call you for lunch. But you're never here on potluck day.
It seems that's true.
It's the last Sunday of the month. And you miss it every month. We wait for you. I don't know. Steve's not here. We can't go. Morning, everybody. My understanding last Sunday was a little different. Everybody was, everything was a little different. You never know what to expect. And thank God people wanted to come and sing and speak and be present and express themselves in the way that their heart was leading them. And it led them here, and everything happens, as we say, by divine appointment. So while I was traveling to Seaside that day to pack my mother's things in boxes from the apartment in the assisted living facility, um, you all were here doing what I call holding the space, not just for me, but for each other, and for those who were here, and those who will be here, and those who have been here. It's a continuity. We know that once we're connected, we're always connected. Once we have that seeing of each other, being with each other, in one way or another, we're always connected. And so it is that on our path, we are constantly meeting people in new and different ways. Not only are we always connected, but we're always changing. And in that always changing field that we call beingness, the experience of seeing you today is different than 2 weeks ago. Not because you're wearing different clothing, but because you're different than 2 weeks ago. You have shifted. You have changed. You have become yourself in a new and different way. We never know what's going to touch us or move us in a particular way, or what's going to touch our heart, what's going to inspire us in some way or another. And yet that's the path of spirituality. We commit ourselves, if you will, to an ongoing pattern of spiraling through this experience we call living into higher and higher states of awareness, higher and higher states of perception, deeper and deeper capacities to express our divine potential. And so when we see each other, we look at one another and we say, oh, hi. And then we back up and we say, no, hi. It's a pleasure to see you. I behold the truth in you. So take a minute and mingle. No, we did it a few weeks ago. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Truly. Thank you. My heart speaks to you. I'm so glad and doing better. Nothing like diverticulitis to. She's looking good. She's okay. I don't know. All right, friends. There's a reason I don't do this every Sunday. It creates wonderful energy among you. You see each other, you hug each other, you love each other, and then you won't sit down. I'm going to bring a horn. No, I'm kidding. I love that we do it. It looks a little strange on camera. Good morning, people online. We just hugged and saw each other as the truth of our beingness, and we see you that way, even if we can't touch you directly. We know we're connected. So we welcome our folks online. We welcome our people here in the sanctuary. We are one dedicated group of people, and we're dedicated to living and unfolding in accord with divine perfection. We say all people are welcome here. Well, Steve Mason on occasion. What would a steady diet do? Yeah. No, I'm serious when I say, regardless of gender, nationality, sexuality, whatever your expression is, if you're a seeker of truth, if you're a seeker of the light, you are welcome in this place. And it's our pleasure to see you, to know you, and to honor you just the way you are. Our daily word this morning would be not Cleo, Cleo in a different form.
Yes.
That would be Heather. Thank you, Heather. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy. Down in my heart, down in my heart. Remember that from camp?
Yep.
You know the song?
What?
Joy, joy,
Joy,
joy.
joy.
Down in my heart,
heart.
down in my heart today, or to stay, or whatever it is. There you go.
Thank you.
You should just,
It's one of those mornings.
it is.
Isn't it wonderful? Good morning, everybody. Our word for today is joy. Joy is mine through all the seasons of life. Throughout my life, joy is always part of me. Like the sun that is always shining, even when obscured by clouds. Joy is there in my happiest moments and also during my darker times. It keeps me present to life as it unfolds, responsive and adaptive, accepting what I cannot change and having the courage to change what I can. Much more than a feeling, joy is part of me, a way to feel the presence of God and live for my spirituality. Joy is the anchor that keeps me rooted in peace and wholeness, and the wings that help me soar through the open skies of imagination and choice. My spiritual identity has its foundation in the divine idea of joy, and I carry it with me wherever I go and in everything I do. From Psalms 16:11, you show me the path of life. In your presence there is the fullness of joy. Joy is mine through all the seasons of life. Thank you.
Thank you. How lovely. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it make you happy?
Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. That's it.
You know, friends, we're so lucky, aren't we? We're so fortunate and blessed in so many ways. Thank you, Heather. And just to briefly say a couple of things. Drumming with Lena is this week on the 7th. The men's group's meeting on the 10th. I'll come back to this. Everything's on the back of your bulletin. Our board meeting's on the 13th. Joyful Reiki Share on the 11th after the service, right here. And a Lenten meditation series coming up soon, coming up soon, coming up soon. I want to talk about membership for a minute. Next Sunday is membership. And if you haven't been online delving into the weekly newsletter, you may not have read this piece. So in your bulletin this morning is an application for membership. If you would like to be a member, we are so happy to have you as a member. If you choose not to do membership, we are so happy to have you. There is, unlike many spiritual and religious organizations, we do not base what we do on how large a membership we have. We base membership on an opportunity to deepen your own spiritual growth and path. It's a very individual experience. And in that, it is either a renewal of a commitment you've already made, and you're invited, if you've already gone through a membership service, to stand with us and receive the blessing, if you'd like, to just reawaken that commitment in you. Or if you haven't yet joined, we would love to have you fill out one of the forms and leave it. You can either leave it over on the table, hand it to Louise, hand it to Denise, hand it to me, hand it to somebody who looks like they know something here, and that would be, that's one of those question marks. How do I know who does things? Well, you know who does things by the level of who's where when on a Sunday morning, and that could be you. You might be the one who knows something. And let me read this to you then. As you pursue your spiritual path, we encourage you to explore what it means to be committed to living universal truths. I think that's one of those concepts that we explore. What does it mean to be committed to living universal truths? It means the very highest expressions of spirituality. Love, peace, support, sustenance. This is what it goes on to say. Membership in unity is not required, but is encouraged as a way for an individual to commit to his or her own spiritual growth. Active members attend services regularly, participate in events, invest their time in service to our spiritual community, and financially contribute to Unity Skagit Valley. Why consider it? Becoming a member confirms to you and your spiritual community that you're committed to living a life of love, abundance, and meaning. It affirms a sense of commitment to personal spiritual growth. Membership in Unity Skagit Valley says, I belong. Many of us arrive at Unity from other traditions, having searched for a place where we feel at home. Through membership, you declare, this is my spiritual home and I belong here. Committing to membership is a public affirmation that says, I walk my talk. As you deepen your understanding and practice of the positive teachings of unity, you become a positive example for others. Only members can participate in voting on important church matters. So at one of our annual meetings, which are near the end of March, we will vote on board members, confirming board members, any other financial agreements, anything that needs a vote, we ask that members would vote. And if you're a very active non-member, you could probably sneak in a vote and we wouldn't hold it against you. It would not be a sin. If it really matters to you, speak to it and go ahead and we will accept your vote. You become a part of the growing group of people who are living consciously and actively making a difference in this world. Our next membership service is next Sunday. What happens is I invite you up. I do a brief lesson. I invite you up. You stand here. I come down in front of you. I take you through a time of blessing, and we as a congregation bless you and affirm you. And that's pretty much how hard it is. No water is used in baptism, not even a sprinkle from a flower, although we will give you a flower. And we would love to have you join. And again, I don't do this very often, and people ask why. I don't know. I do it when I'm guided. And once a year would be how often. And it's been a couple of years since we've done this. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the members who support and sustain the ministry, and those of you who do it just because you love to be here. We're really, really grateful. The other announcement I have for you is that there are no other announcements this morning. I know. It is so your preference. I noticed that when we don't say things, it's like, why do you do that? You send the newsletter, you got the bulletin, blah, blah, and then you blah, 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 blah. Why do you do that? And it's because if we don't do it a variety of ways, we don't hear it. So we get information, but we don't really absorb it, or we didn't really take it in, or whatever the case may be. Our website is now available for you to explore. There are new things going up all the time. And of course, we have a weekly newsletter that comes out for you. And that weekly focus comes out on Fridays. If you have not yet given us your email address, please do that so that we can have that other way of being in contact. I like it better when we're playing. I need more playing these days. Too many serious things going on in and around. Take time for joy. Many of us say, I don't know much about joy. We have that personality that might not be free to run and romp and play in a variety of ways. And periodically investing ourselves in some kind of play, or not just rest, but something that brings life into our being is so important. Just a little more joy, we say. Just a little more joy. Must be time for meditation or something, huh? You think? I don't know. Am I ready? I don't know. Maybe I'm ready. All right, I'll take a breath. You forced me into it. I'll take a breath. You ready? You ready? 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 Feet on the floor, hands freed up. Don't holding stuff you're going to drop. Turn your phone off. Just Give yourself a minute's break. It's wonderful to see some of you we haven't seen for a long time. Apple. Hi, Annie. And great to see each shining you. Spirit, lead us, we say. Lead us into the sacred holiness that is the reality of our life and being. Guide us as we open ourselves to receive that which you bring to us in these moments. Envelop us in the felt sense of your presence. Clear us of the residue from yesterday, that we might experience the fullness of today. Move through our bodies and our minds in a way that reminds us that we are more than a collection of cells and atoms. We are the creation of your presence, expressing as each of us, uniquely and wondrously made. Reach deep inside us to reveal once again our strength, our dreams, and reach even more deeply into us, that we might realize our oneness with you, and in our oneness with you, our oneness with all of life. Let us open to the presence that presence within and around. With your breath, allow yourself a moment of letting go. Somehow, in some way, everything is in harmony and perfect order. And you can open and just now trust that all things are cooperating to bring forth your good. Fear not. Fear not. Experience a stillness within you. Within you there is a quiet place. The mind scans for it. But in you there is a knowing of a stillness, a peace. Want that. Allow yourself to want that inner peace. And know how many days and nights you've longed to touch that kind of peace. It flows from the very center of your being. And floods you. Seen or unseen, known or unknown. This peaceful stillness is the place of true rest, the place where all things come together in perfection. In stillness. That which is true of me becomes all of me. I am surrounded and held in this constancy of unfailing love. and peace. And when I remember that a moment spent breathing into and with this inward presence frees me from worry and eases the fears. When I remember, then I know that I am present to the will and the work and the highest perfect order of the living presence. God by any name, breathing through you now. Reassuring you once again that all is well. And so it is. And so we give thanks. Amen.
With Valentine's Day coming up, that's my daughter's birthday, so she'll turn 12, and when her bros, her big brothers were kids, I did a parenting class, and the instructor, Bob Bradbury, he was just so great. He said so many great things in this class, and one of them was, just always remember your kids. Just because you're saying no, that's okay. You can try again tomorrow, or you can try again in the next moment, or you can try again some other time. I love that. So I wrote this tune because I thought that was a great thing to remind all of us about. And it's called "Try Another Day." So somewhere in here we'll probably break into Ho'oponopono. Seems silly, but it'll work, I think. Is this okay, Andrew? I'm up all the way. Yeah, it's called "Try Another Day." So we battled way too long, struggled through some nights, worrying about who's wrong, possessed with being right, dreaming we'd hang on to memories fading fast, the gravity's so strong, keeps us in the past. Let's try another day. Perhaps tomorrow's light will wash these tears away and bring love back in sight. Let's break out from this hole before they ever list our names amid the tragedy told. Let's try another day. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, and and I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. Though I know there's fear, I pray with heart in hand. The only thing that's clear, it's time we make this stand. Let's try another day, perhaps a little space where love can find its way and fill our hearts with grace, respecting each one's soul. We just might find a way before another hurt unfolds. Let's try another day. Let's try. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. Thanks.
Wow. That was powerful, wonderful, amazing, heartbreaking. Which choice? So many choices. Thank you, Steve. Ms. Sophie's birthday, huh? 12. Now you did it. Now I don't know where to start. Huh. See if anything stands out. Huh. I could just throw this away. I think that was everything we needed. I was, as you know, away packing up Mom's things. And the turn of events with my mother is that the mind, which was hanging on a little, has gone. And her response in this time is total terror. And rage. So it moves between terror and rage. And I realized that they'll not, I realize, but they will in the next few days find a facility to right now she's in long-term nursing care because she broke her back just before Christmas, her pelvis and her back. And so she's been in that rehab place. And then they as time went on, the hold on what would be, her state of mind just went. And so hallucinations and terror and all the things that go with a hell state at 98 years old and 75 pounds, So now they will transfer her to memory care, a lockup memory care. And they'll do that sometime this next week. It just happens that she's been, through her own choice, living in Seaside, and now she's just in Forest Grove outside Portland. And so, given my own health condition and given all the things that have been going on this past year, I haven't seen her. And now I can't. I could if I'm brave enough to witness the state she's in. It requires a kind of courage to witness that expression, and the thought is that she probably won't know me at this point anyway. But I thought, friends, and for myself as well, continuing to hold on to these states of consciousness that we've held on to for so long, we pray that they will just, if we go south, north, whichever direction you want to call it, we pray that we didn't carry all that rage with us, or all of our unhealed terror, or all the things we never said or never met. We pray that all that would just not be there. We won't meet it that way. And yet, it brings you into a realization that if this is the day we've got, and this is the time we have, what we're still holding as reality of being doesn't just make a difference today, but it makes a difference collectively, individually, in all the varying states of our going on. And we think, why would I believe that continuing to carry that anger, that rage, that never met pain, why would we believe that would somehow turn into a state someday without our participation of a new way of being? I have prayed for my mother for all these years that something would intervene that would soothe her and bring her peace. And in that what would perhaps pass away is the anger she's had and the fear she's had every day of her life. And it really calls to accountability about the mind as much power as I have in the experience of living, to resolve and release things that have always been an undercurrent of how we've identified. Is there anybody really we could not release when we realize the blessings that individual, even if they were seemingly the most difficult part of our past? Is there anyone we could not release in the interest of our own freedom? And we say, well, there was this, and then there was that, and then there was Catholic school. Let's talk about Catholic school for a minute. I mean, when people talk about Catholic school, I'm like, I took piano lessons there when I was 6. I wanted to be a nun. Thank you, God, for saving me from myself, truly. It's like you and I have the capacity in the moment, in the place where I'm standing and you're sitting, to really come to peace with these pieces of jagged, sharp-edged consciousness that we hold to be true and the reality of our existence. And in fact, in and through it all, there comes a place, a meeting place, where we say, you know, that's just not worth it anymore. My friend Martha Creek, who I mention frequently, is such a mentor for me. And one day, in my last ministry, there were some challenges going on, and I called her up and said, Martha, I'm going down, and it's, you know, it's just, I can't do anything to make things be different than they are. And she said, honey, my peace is the most important thing to me. And she, in those words, left something indelible in me. Is your peace the most important thing to you? My peace, she said, is the most important thing to me. I said, more than the church failing, more than this group of people who I'm having challenge meeting and being with and doing whatever with. I started a second service, so here's the thing. It all blew up. It was a bad time. I just simply one day decided to start a second service. And I did that because I had a contemporary musician who was willing to do the music for that service. And there was another church in town that had the best music in town, and it happened that that person was now in our church in Santa Barbara. And it seems like, yeah, well, and I thought, for young people, for people who are really energized, for people who want a huge upbeat service, let's do this thing. And I tell you, I created such a war. Oh, yeah. Oh, call it that. It was brutal. It was brutal. And the people who'd always been there felt abandoned and discarded, that there was something. How can you say that, Betsy? How could you say it that way? Of course they did. I'd taken away their whole understanding of their church. I had changed the energy of everything they had known. And I gave people other choices. Maybe they didn't want to go to the first service anymore. Well, I learned a lot, friends. I learned more than you should ever want to know about what to do, what not to do, and how to do if you're going to do something different. And I learned that love was more important than anything, and that if I could fix it, if I had the power to fix it, I would do anything to heal that wound. I would do anything to heal that wound. And I was going down the spiral into trying to make something wonderful. This huge mistake I had made when in fact it was quite fabulous. And the place I couldn't find peace, my peace, was in the thought that I had hurt people. Well, I've hurt people all my life without meaning to. That one was big, and people felt really betrayed and hurt. And I knew I couldn't fix it. And so here I am. I'm on the phone with Martha. I'm like, Martha, I killed the church. I feel horrible. I can't deal with it. I don't have any energy left. I can't make it better. Everything's just spinning. And she said, honey, you heard me say it. My peace is the most important thing to me. And I realized that as we walk through our lives, we do a lot of things. We say a lot of things. We've moved in a lot of directions. People have done a lot of things to us. People have harmed us. They've betrayed us. We have longings that are never met. People died. Things went south. Things went north. We got hurt. They hurt us. Something hurt us. We hurt ourselves. And the one thing in and through it all that no one had ever said to me is stop trying to fix everything and come into the realization that from a place of peaceful reconciliation in your own being, not you can have a lot of impact out here. You don't know. You don't know if it'll get better. But it'll certainly give you a lot on the inner level of your being that will restabilize you and allow you to enter into your own wholeness once again. Which is why you came here anyway, not here, but here in that baby body. Was to find your own wholeness, to connect with the truth of your own being. Who wants to give up their peace today? Who wants to torture yourself a little longer and give up more of your peace when, in fact, there's a moment when the declaration, I have come here to make peace, here, to find my wholeness, here. And all these steps, jagged though they may be along the way, have just simply been, as we say, not just growth opportunities, but experiences that have unfolded parts of us in ways we never could have seen or known. So, who is it that's worth giving up your peace for today? And do you think that will save them? Change the past? Make things be different than the one image we hold about what has come and passed? What do you want? Jesus said, what do you want? To the leper. Jesus said, what do you want? To the people he healed. Over and over again, he said, what do you, in one way or another, through his connection, what do you want? And where will you find it? One of my favorite story teachings is Nasruddin, the Sufi holy fool. So here is Nasruddin. Nasruddin is a teacher of deep truths in seemingly very simple stories. His friend Mansour comes to visit him and sees Nasruddin on his hands and knees crawling on the sidewalk under the lamp pole. The illumination was lamplight, obviously searching for something and appearing very frustrated. Concerned for his friend, Mansour said, "Nasruddin, what are you looking for? Did you lose something?" "Yes, Mansour, I lost the key to my house, and I'm trying to find it, but I can't." "Let me help you," responded Mansour. And he joins his friend, kneels down on his hands and knees, begins to crawl on the sidewalk under the street lamp. After a time, having looked everywhere around the sidewalk, neither Nasruddin nor Mansour can find the lost key. And puzzled, Mansour asks his friend to recall his steps when he last had the key. "Nasruddin, where did you lose the key? And when did you last have it?" "I lost the key in my house," said Nasruddin. "In your house," repeated the astonished Mansour. "Then why are we looking for the key here, outside on the sidewalk under this street lamp?" Without hesitation, Nasruddin explains, "Because there's more light here." Yeah. We look everywhere for the light. We look everywhere for the light. And where is that light that we're looking for? This is from, it's called No Way by Ramsu. You've quoted Ramsu. Sam. "You look for clues. You search for the key that will unlock the mystery. You gaze into the entrails of chickens. You map the movements of the stars. You count your breaths. You chant your pet name for God. You consult cards. You add up numbers. You fast. You take drugs. You study scripture. You read tea leaves. You talk to spirits. You twist your body into fascinating shapes. You guru hop. You attend seminars and retreats. You exercise. You buy books. You listen to tapes. And you pray with all your might." Ramsu knows this. When you're done with these, there you are. Looking for the light. Looking for the light. One of the most splendid statements that's attributed to Jesus is, "You are the light of the world." A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. You are the light of the world. My mother is the light of the world. She didn't see it, accept it, or know it. She's always thought I was strange, weird, and somehow showed up in the world in a way she just couldn't quite understand. But within the presence of the one who today is in anger or rage or fear or terror or loss or whatever the case may be, that light is shining as brilliantly as it was on the day before birth came. in this world. Nothing can change that. Outer circumstances change. Life comes and goes and comes to pass again. But the reality of being, the truth of being, the universal truth of all life is the holy and sacred that is present as the indwelling and the out picturing of all things. Who will I choose to grant peace to today? In the concern about finance, in the concern about work, in the concern about where I live, in the concern about the what this and the who that and this thing and that. Where is my habitation of peace? But here in the midst of the place where I already am, not in the place I will be, not in the place I have been, but in the place I already inhabit here. In the glory of all that, I'm aware that things really do move beyond our control, no matter what we think. And all of those forces are not to precipitate more regret and suffering in our lives. The things that arise are not to precipitate more of your suffering today. They arise that, and in that, outpicturing of life as it continues to flow through the cycles that we're all flowing through. And in that is a perfection that we don't recognize or see. And so we walk around with our heads down and our whatever, when in fact the invitation is to see it from a different side, the holy side, the divine side, the empowered side, the strong enough side. Days like this, there's a Van Morrison song that actually precipitated what I was going to talk about today, but it's not what I talked about, so never mind. When it's not always raining, there'll be days like this. When there's no one complaining, there'll be days like this. When everything falls into place like the flick of a switch. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Kingdom of heaven days. Those days when we take a new deep breath and say, thank you all. Grateful to be with you, and blessings to my mom. Her name is Rosemary. She's 98 years old. I pray for her peace. I pray for her release. And I pray that on some inner plane she knows how dearly she is loved. Let's share our tithes and our love offerings and prepare to close it out for the day. What do you got going on?
Well, I'm glad we're not doing the Van Morrison song because I didn't learn it.
Well, shoot. You can learn it for next time.
Next, yeah.
Yeah, get that next
Betsy
time.
said next time, so I'm sticking with what she said.
Yeah. Into the Mystic.
Oh, man, what a song.
What a great song that is. Into the Mystic.
great
What a
song?
beautiful song.
Here's a song people can sing about now.
All right, the ushers are going to
right.
receive the offering. I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature. Let's do that.
Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine, and a million tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. Well, I'll be a dandy and I'll be a rover. You'll know who I am by the song that I sing. I'll feast at your table, I'll sleep in your clover. Who cares what the morrow shall bring? Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine, and a million tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today.
Can somebody get Sky and whoever little people we have? Little person, little people, little. So, friends, next week then, Membership Sunday. And then it'll be Valentine's Day, but not on a Sunday. And think about Valentine's. And remember when you were a kid, not when you didn't get any Valentines at school and the other kids did. Don't remember that. Just don't even think about that. Just think about who you want to give Valentines to. You can do that next Sunday if you want. Hey, who you got, Sky? We've got a Lily Rose. We've got the two whose names I don't remember today. Hi. Hi.
Yummy.
Hi, sweetheart.
Yumma.
Hi. Tell me your name again. Can you?
It's Helix.
Heath? Helix. That's right. And how about you? Huh? Selah. Hi. I like your plug. I need one of those. Yeah. And I like your bow, too. How are you? Are you good? Did she treat you okay? Was she nice to you? Did you have fun? Could you turn around and face the people for a minute? Come stand close to me. All right, can we bless these beautiful ones? Children of light. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. Absolutely we do. Absolutely we do. How about this? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And it is, my friends. It truly is. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the ways in which you make this community a wonderful place to be. Let's stand and sing our peace song. You want to sing?